Hello and welcome back to my list for the bold prediction list for 2018, and we are at number 5, and it's a quarterback. They rarely make it into this list. We're going to talk a little bit more around the reasons why quarterbacks actually have more value than people let on. I think we'll do that in this video so we don't duplicate it a bit later on, because I'm giving something away here. There is another one to come, and he comes up higher up the list. Kirk Cousins at 5 is tremendous value. I think this guy can flirt with 40 touchdowns this year. I think he's a 4.5 to 4,000 yard quarterback, easy. I've seen it in Washington. He's got far more weapons in Minnesota. They've got a great defense. They've got lots of things for him to throw at. He's a quarterback that sprays the ball around. I think he's going to be electric with Stefon Diggs. And if I'm being honest, Stefon Diggs and him together in a stack, I'd take it all day. I got it once this year. Delighted to have it, actually. And I did it in a best ball league. And I reckon that's a really clever place to have it. So if you can get Kirk Cousins, Stefon Diggs as any kind of stack, particularly Kirk Cousins, you've got really big upside, because I think Stefon Diggs is going to benefit from the touchdowns that are going to generate through what Kirk Cousins is going to do. So when you look at the logic behind this prediction, it's very simple. He's sneaky as a runner. He's not the best in the business. He's not known as his mobility, but a couple of 100 yards, 200-300 yards is certainly capable for Kirk Cousins. He's got great upside to deliver 3 to 5 touchdowns on the ground. You put that together with 4,000 yards, and you start looking at the touchdown numbers that he's likely to generate. That is why he's flirting on this list this year. These are sneaky upside guys. Now, I want to also touch on this, because this is very important for the video. A lot of time now, experts will turn around to you and say, hey, you can wait on a quarterback. Well, yeah, you can. Our metrics proves that, the 10th best and the 20th, there's nothing dividing them. In fact, it works out less than a fantasy point a week between the 10th and the 20th. Now, as you move up into that top 10, then top 5, then top few, Kirk Cousins is going to flirt with that top 5 and maybe surprise people this year. Because if you look at that list, the normal people that would be on it would be people like Tom Brady, Breeze. They're a bit older. It's not as obvious anymore. I'm sure that both will have good years. I'm sure they'll be close to that top 5. But it doesn't mean they're going to be in it. They might be just outside, 7 or 8. Kirk Cousins has a top 5 upside. I think it's obvious to see it. That means he deserves to be here. And the other thing is as well, when you start looking at the very best quarterbacks, he's not elite yet. He's got to prove something. But we may be looking at him like that next year. And the thing is that those elite quarterbacks give you over the opposition is pretty big. Now, I've worked it out that if you have the 3rd best, the difference between that and the 10th best is nearly 8 fantasy points a week on average. That is significant. That's like owning a player. So people who say you can wait on them, it's not that simple. And when you look at what I'm doing later on in this list, you'll understand why we're being a bit counterintuitive here. But it has a real validity behind it. So what I want you to think about is when you're drafting. Now, I haven't been able to get them. I want to get them at the right price. I wanted Kirk Cousins in round 5. He got snagged up. I was disappointed. I wanted some of the other quarterbacks in round 3, but they went before me, and I couldn't grab them. Or they just I couldn't get because of my position on the draft board. That's life. I'm not saying shoot for the moon with any of these guys. You got to get them at their value. But if they're there, you take them and you don't hesitate, because this is a guy that's special. So if you've got him in your drafts, if you manage to get him in round 8, round 9, round 10, you're laughing. It's a bargain. And you will look back at the end of this year and have a huge edge on your opposition. But if you can't, then of course you do the sensible thing, take a couple of late shots because you've got nothing to lose. But Kirk Cousins is special. We're going to talk about him next year, I'm sure, and you will be talking about him in the top 5. Anyway, a special video deserves a bit more time. Hope you've enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Please like and subscribe and comment. See you then.